Little Rock 9 activist and black newspaper owner Daisy Bates was honored this week with the unveiling of her statue in the U.S. Capitol. The statue of Bates replaces a statue of Arkansas figures from the 19th century. Bates was born in Huddock, Arkansas in 1914. 3 white men allegedly murdered her mom while she was an infant, which spurred her to become a civil rights activist. Bates led the Arkansas NAACP branch for many years and mentored the Little Rock 9 black students who were the first to integrate Central High School in the state capitol in 1957. Bates and her husband, L.C. Bates, founded the Arkansas Weekly newspaper. Now, what's interesting about this video here, if you look here, that she still is sandwiched between Confederates, Mississippi, Florida, of course, has made some changes. They got Mayor McLeod Bethune, of course, Arkansas sent Daisy Bates. But them good old boys in Mississippi, they still holding on to their Confederate heroes, Michael. They ain't trying to let them go. And matter of fact, today is Confederate Day in the state of South Carolina. All government offices are closed today in South Carolina. They just love them white domestic terrorists.
Yes, they do, Roland. And when you read their statements of secession, you see why, because they said why they were seceded from the Union. They said it was to maintain slavery. They talked about how slavery was central to their wealth. We know Mississippi in 1860 was supplying about close to 2/3 or a little more than 2/3 of the world's cotton supply. So, and that's back on the backs of slaves. So, yeah, they're not going to, I mean, they went to war to maintain what they had. And then their descendants attacked the U.S. Capitol building January 6, 2021. So absolutely. But this is a great, not to take away from the accomplishments of Daisy Bates, because she helped mentor the Little Rock 9. And they used to, if I remember correctly, in the documentary Eyes on the Prize, they interviewed her. And the Little Rock 9 went to her house every morning for breakfast, and she would help them with their homework, give them encouragement, things of this nature. So this is a big honor for Daisy Bates, but a slap in the face to put her between some Confederate traitors.
And the thing here is, this is a photo here that was posted on the Twitter page of Congressman Jim Clyburn. And so in our U.S. Statutory Hall, she's only the second African American to be honored this way. Of course, Rosa Parks is also there as well, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, and she is a titan. I mean, Michael's right. In fact, I read that she joined the PTA at Central High School. She didn't even have a child there. She was so holistic in her advocacy for those families, and the kids were coming to her house every day, and she was shepherding the parents through the enrollment process and making sure that they were able to fully realize the rights that they should have been able to realize. So I think she's a titan, and I think she is an exemplar, and it's a sad thing that she's in between two Confederates. And, you know, the reality is, I really like that Michael spoke so plainly on this. You know, when it comes to whether we should have these statues or Confederate Day or whatever, what you always hear people try to make this about is about heritage. But the wild thing about that is the heritage of the people who were contemporaries was about slavery. That's all this was about. So there's no way to co-opt that and make it about heritage or about anything other than the continuation of slavery and the degradation of black people. And it is still that today. And no matter how much you try to co-opt that and repackage it, it cannot be repackaged. And this shows some of the schizophrenia that we have, if you will, in our common conversations these days, because Sarah Huckabee Sanders talking about Daisy Bates bringing people together despite working in the administration of the most divisive president who has preyed upon racist tropes and
but also Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's a governor of Arkansas, who was out there pushing for this anti-CRT law that was, of course, the federal courts just jacked them up. So she's full of it.
and she's going to shuck and jive next February talking about Black History Month, right? I mean, that's the reality, is that we allow this back and forth and this vacillation where at the end of the day, when we're advantageous to play upon as being a part of the fold, you bring us in. And then when some yokel says that he wants, Confederates Day to be honored, then you say, oh, he's got a right to his heritage. And we both know that's BS. I mean, if you're really about America and American values, that is directly in contravention to that. But I do think that it's good that the state of Arkansas made a good decision to put such an exemplar like Daisy Bates there in the Capitol Rotunda.
Well, we see exactly what this is all about. And just for the folks just to understand, slight correction. So Rosa Parks' statue does not represent Alabama. So the two are Daisy Bates representing Arkansas, Mary McLeod Bethune representing Florida. And so if you're on my iPad, what you see here, this is African-American art in the Capitol. So you see, now, there is a bronze statue of Rosa Parks in National Statutory Hall, but that is not one of the two statues for the state of Alabama. They have Helen Keller and Joseph Wheeler. So you also see there is a bust, a bronze statue of Frederick Douglass. Again, you say Rosa Parks as well, and there are busts of Dr. King and Sojourner Truth, and portraits of Blanche Kelso Bruce, Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm, Congressman John Conyers. There are two of him, Congressman Elijah Cummings, Congressman William Dawson, Congressman Ron Dellums, Congressman William H. Gray, Congressman Augustus Hawkins, Congresswoman Ida Bernice Johnson, Congressman Perrin Mitchell, Congressman Joseph Rainey, Congressman Charlie Rango, and Congressman Edolphus Towns. And then there are paintings. As you see, there are murals. So this here is all of the art that is African-American art that is there in the U.S. Capitol. Kelly.
Now, again, I think this is, and I echo the sentiments of Matt and Michael, I think this is a wonderful honor for Miss Bates. The irony is not lost on me that she's sandwiched in between two traitors. I think that is a microcosm of how Black women who do amazing things are situated in this country on a regular basis. It goes back to my comment a couple segments ago regarding why we continuously try to preserve the history of those who tried to erase American history, right? Like they literally tried to create another country that was literally going to continuously be built on the backs of the enslaved and disenfranchised. So again, the irony is not lost on me. I'm sure it's a wonderful honor, but we still have a lot of work to do in regards to getting traitors out of our lexicon as a country.
Absolutely, folks.
Now, if you like this type of information, you can support the African History Network a few ways. Be sure to register for the online history classes that I teach on Saturdays. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understand the Transatlantic Slave Trade, where they didn't teach you in school. Visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We deal with thousands of years of history and what leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. This is a 10-week class. We're doing more than 10 weeks this time around. Next classes are Saturday, May 4th, Saturday, May 11th, Saturday, May 18th, and Saturday, May 25th, 2024, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click right here to register here for the class. The class is on sale $60, regularly $130. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch it any time. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you can still watch the entire course. We have the lesson plan here for the entire course also already laid out, so you can look at the content that we cover. We deal with 80 to 100 articles, and I put together this class. I've been teaching this class on and off since 2017. Okay, I've been studying history 34 years now. Do lectures across the country. Been hosting the African History Network show 14 years. But we look at there's over 200 slides that I put together, 80 to 100 articles that we'll go through and look at. The 15 books that we reference. You don't have to buy any of these books to follow along in class. I'll show you excerpts of the books on the screen usually. And we'll look at video clips of interviews I've done with historians like Professor James Small, Professor Kabahai Wafa-Kamene, Anthony Browder, who wrote Non-Valley Contributions to Civilization, which is one of the books we use in the class, Runoko Rashidi, who wrote Black Star, The African Presence in Early Europe, which is another book that we use in the class, okay? So you can register for this. Its content is PG-13. You can use this information with your children as well. Visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay. And we'll post the link here. The link's in the thread of this broadcast. And you can support us through PayPal and Cash App, $ the AHN show through Cash App, $ the AHN show through Cash App, and through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. So we have the information right here on our website as well. This is our official Cash App account, $ the AHN show, SHOW. When you go to it, it'll say Michael and show my picture there. These are fake African History Network Cash App accounts here that have been stealing money from us. There are a few other ones out there I've identified. I'm still trying to get them shut down. You can click right here on our link and it shows our QR code, okay, for Cash App. This helps us stay on the air, keep doing the research, pay some of the bills, etc. Upgrade equipment, take care of what